Hi guys, Chris here and welcome to my unboxing of the Onda oBook 11. This is a hybrid tablet that you can't actually really probably call a tablet. It's more of a notebook, a laptop. If you've ever seen the Lenovo Yoga 360, well, this is a similar kind of deal. It's got a 11.6-inch screen, it's 1080p, and it has an Atom X5Z 8300, sorry, that clocks up to 1.8 gigahertz, and it also has 2 gigabytes of RAM. Now there's a model that is very similar to this one, and it's called the Voyo A1 Ultra. Pretty much the same, it's the same manufacturer. It's an ODM, so the original design manufacturer, and it must be just licensing the design out to Onda, Voyo, and I think there's also maybe even one other manufacturer, Voyo, that's also manufacturing this. Anyway, I got this from AliExpress. Just show you a little bit of the packaging here, that it just has bubble wrap around it and a black plastic bag. They declared it as a tablet, 65 US, and I've already pre-opened it, so you don't have to see me fighting around and wrestling around with the packaging. Okay, so here is our box. Not a bad looking box. Now, Onda lately have been extremely disappointing to me, so this could be the last device of theirs I review, even though I said that with the last one. There were a lot of comments and interest in this particular model, so I gave in and decided to order it. But hopefully this isn't going to be the last Onda I have a look at. So we can see here some of the specs on the side. Obviously there's a little bit of Chinese in there, but you can make out there's the specs. So the Atom X5Z 8300 and 1.84 gigahertz. It's Gen 8 graphics with 12 executional cores, 2 gigabytes of RAM as I mentioned, 32 gigabyte eMMC, wireless, Ethernet. I don't know why that's on there. Why you can support Ethernet via USB. It does have micro SD card slot, one USB 3 port, one USB 2 port, DC in, HDMI, and on the back there's nothing really there. Now I got a message after I bought this that the power supply had been sent separately, which is a little odd, but apparently it was over 2 kilos in weight, the limit with Singapore Post that they sent it with. So my power supply isn't going to be in here. That's coming separately, which is rather annoying, which is probably why I recommend just get this probably from banggood.com. Be a little bit easier, and you also have the protection there of PayPal. If I can just get the box open. Alright, here we go. So it looks to be reasonably well packaged. It's foam either side. I do see if there is anything else. No, so no power supply. In fact, no other cables or anything. As expected there. So I'll get it out of the wrap. Okay. So here we have a plasticky build. Although it does look like it's metal on camera probably, it's not. We have 4 rubber feet on the bottom. You can see it's the oBook 11 there. 12 volts, 3 amps is the input required. And there's a lot of little screws around the outside here holding it all in place. And we do have 2 bottom-facing speakers, and they've got protective plastic on it, although there is a bit of wear on the hinge here already from transit, I think, from it moving around. So have a look on the side here at the ports. So here is our DC in to charge, status LED, micro HDMI, and a micro SD card slot. That's on the right side. Have a look now over onto the left side of it. We have a USB 3 port. Actually, no, it's not colored blue, but one of these is USB 3. Our headphone, it's in. We have volume up and down, power on, and a lock switch there, which I'll have a look at. So far, I mean, and it says Onda on the top here. The build seems okay. And I'll have a look at the weight in just a minute. First I'll get this opened. And there we go. So we have 2 megapixel front-facing camera, Windows, home button here, and what looks to be microphones left and right. Here's our keyboard. So I removed the plastic that was over that, and the keyboard has a little bit of flex, if you can see that, bit of flex there, and overall, actually quite a lot, but I mean not too bad. It is a hardware left and right mouse clicks there, so it's good to see that it's not just all captive. And overall, let's have a quick type on it. Keyboard feels alright. Now this is priced, cost me, I think it was around about 190 US, which I don't actually think is that bad considering you do have a keyboard. But obviously you're going to have to test this out and run some benchmarks on it, see just how hot it gets and everything. So we do have a couple of little rubber feet here to keep the screen away from the keyboard, from scratching it. Now of course, this is one of the main things about this. This has that hinge on it that apparently should let us do this. Flip it right around. And there we go. It becomes a rather bulky tablet, but it can be used as a tablet. It can be used in that tent mode as well. And this is essentially a Lenovo Yoga clone. A very cheap one at that. But overall, just the first impressions, have a look at the camera there again. Seems pretty good to build. And have a look at that screen. Hopefully I have some battery in here because I don't know how I'm going to charge this without having the charger, which is a real pain in the ass. So I'm going to have to hunt down and see if I can find a charger. So the screen's just coming on now. It's in English, Windows 10. And you can see, of course, rather large bezel at the bottom, but even the Lenovo has that. So have a look and see how does the touch screen feel there. Doesn't seem too bad. Okay, and it does include that latest Windows 10 November update. So here we go, Windows 10 Home. Windows is not activated, so I might need to get online to activate that, and I'm really looking like I'm going to be in trouble here when it comes to battery. I've only got 28%, 40%, and it goes down to 0 brightness. That's 100% brightness right there. Isn't too bad if I have a look at the view angles on that. It's okay, yeah, it's an IPS panel. Have a look and see how much free space I have. To start with, obviously with the 32 gigabyte eMMC, it's not going to be a very large amount of space here. Yeah, well, there we go, 14.1 gigabytes free. Now the Voyo brand of this particular tablet does actually come with a 64 gigabyte version and 4 gigabytes of RAM. And I think it's called the A1 Ultimate, so it's the Voyo A1 Ultimate. And it comes in that yellow color too on the top. It has that, sorry, not yellow, orange. Mimicking even more the Lenovo Yoga series there with the same coloring. So if you see how that flips around. And I think that lock is to disable the keyboard because I can still actually touch it then. So if I flick that lock, yeah, now the keyboard's not going to work at all. So it can be used like that tent mode there. So overall, it actually seems a lot better than I thought it would. I'll just quickly weigh the tablet. Sorry, not tablet. I'm calling it a tablet. Well, it's really a hybrid. It's more of a notebook, isn't it? And I might get my scales here and have a look. That comes in at 1.2 kilos. You can see, well, can't get on that on the camera, I don't think, but it's 1.2. So not too bad, and the thickness there doesn't seem that bad considering it has the keyboard, of course, all there. So there we go, there's a first look at the Onda oBook 11. Quick unboxing there. Do stay tuned to the channel for more up and coming on this particular model. I will run some benchmarks on it, just see how hot it gets as well. Make sure I run HW info It's very important to see whether it's going to throttle or not, and come back with some benchmarks. So hopefully see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.